this is Obsidian. I wanted to make a video specifically about Deity. So I wanted to specifically make a video just on that to try to help answer those questions for the people that are having trouble connecting to Deity. The biggest thing is trusting your intuition, which is something that's always talked in anything that you read, metaphysical, new age. You know, intuition is really, really big. So, how do you know that a deity is talking to you? There's a couple of examples. If you dream about an entity or a deity, you know, if you dream about one. If you are young and you have an imaginary friend, it could possibly be a deity. If you keep seeing something out of the corner of your eye, for example with Bass, because she's so active, if you keep seeing a cat out of your corner of your eye that's not really there, or hear cat sounds, that could be Bass trying to get your attention. I know with Rocky before he met me, he kept seeing cat eyes everywhere, and that was Bass trying to get his attention. So that's an example. Another is a tarot reading. If you read tarot, you could do a reading on, you know, which entity wants to work with you, and then it would speak to you through the cards. You could use a spirit board, you know, Ouija board, spirit board, and ask that. You can do, which is a new thing that I'm working on, is animal readings. So if you wake up in the morning and the first animal that you see, and I don't mean like your pet, but like a wild animal, if all of a sudden you randomly see a squirrel that, you know, like you live in the city and squirrels don't get near you, then, you know, yada yada yada. Or like if you have this pigeon that follows you to your car, because I live in a very urban area, so we have pigeons and I hate them. But you know, or if you have a fox in your backyard that keeps bothering you, you know, this is the universe trying to give you messages, so you can interpret it those. There's lots of different ways that the deity could be trying to speak to you. It's a matter of opening your mind and opening your heart and listening to yourself. Internal dialogue, and follow your instincts and look at nature for your answers. The deity is speaking to you. It's just whether or not you hear, you know, or whether or not are you listening. And their messages will get louder and louder and louder, and until, you know, you have to listen. You know, they are persistent. So if the universe has a message for you, you know, if they have to, you know, bang on your door at your house, scare the crap out of you, they will. But they prefer for you to catch the drift before that happens, obviously. There are some meditations that you can go on. You can, you know, meditate and go to your happy zone, or your safe spot, your happy place, be it a meadow or beach or rainforest or whatever, and open yourself up to whatever deity that comes to you, and just put out a call during your meditation that you were looking for guidance. And, you know, there's lots of different ways to work with Deity. You know, if you have a particular connection with an animal, you know, like I am crazy for cats. I have 3 of them, and I absolutely love them, and they're my fur babies. So that's why I work with Bast, you know. Although I think the working with the Bast equated the cat thing. But, you know, if you have a very strong affinity for a particular animal, then look for the deity that's connected to that animal. You know, snakes is Dionysus, or, you know, spiders, Great Spirit. You know, there's all kinds of different connections, and so, I mean, you have to do the work. No one's not going to give you all the answers, because their answers aren't going to be your answers. So what always works for me is not going to always work for you. There is quite a bit of book learning in this path, but that's only half of the journey. That's only part of it. You know, a major aspect of this path is meditation and getting your hands dirty with the spiritual. You know, going out there and doing it. So don't be afraid to get your feet wet, but make sure you don't jump in over your head either. You know, I don't know. So that's just my my experience with Deity. Everybody out there has a connection of some kind, or maybe it's just the Great Spirit in general, or the you know, the end all of everything in general. You know, but most of us have a connection with something. So it's just a matter of looking. I worked with Bast for years before I knew her name. It took me about 3 years to finally figure out who it was that was talking to me. So, you know, it's listening to yourself and opening your mind and accepting that everything that you always took for granted, or everything that every sense of reality that you took for granted, be ready to examine that. You know, the mundane world is just a tip of the iceberg. There's so much more out there. And be ready to realize that. Open your mind and your heart to that. You know, it's okay to be cynical. You know, it's okay to doubt, but don't be closed-minded, because there's too much cool stuff out there. You'll miss it. Okay? Alright, well, I hope I answered some of your questions. If not, I'll try to go in more detail in my next video. And I'm going to put together you know, the second set of like theories and practice, and you know, once you've decided that this is the path that you want to follow, kind of a good step in that direction, you know, down that path. Alrighty, thank you. You have a great day.